What is up, you mad dogs? UFC 326 just went down, and I'm going to give you my full card recap, as well as my reaction to the UFC White House card, which was just announced on the broadcast of UFC 326. And man, maybe not as crazy as we were thinking. I'm just going to say that. We'll get to that at the end of the video. First, I wanted to look into the card which happened today for the BMF. We have a new BMF champion. Charles Oliveira gets it done in one of the baddest fights I've ever seen. Now, don't get me wrong. Impressive performance here by Oliveira. Dominant performance across 5 rounds. Didn't give Max Holloway a chance to do anything. Did well on the feet as well. Hurt Max on the feet, but it looked like it at times. But he just did such a good job at getting to that body lock and getting the takedown. He just looked so much stronger than him right around for the whole 5 rounds. Every time he got in on that takedown, you could just tell Max was going to the floor. And it looked like he was going to stay there for the rest of the round. After 2 rounds of it, I was thinking, oh shit, we could be in for a long night here. That's just what we got. That's just what we got. I did quite horrendous on picks for this card, to be honest. This is my worst card yet this year. I actually went negative on picks. I'm pretty disappointed in myself. It's all right. We'll pick it back up and we'll bounce back next week. Don't worry about it. But man, the baddest motherfucker wins a 5-round smudge decision. I'm just this could be a bit of cope, because I didn't get the pick right. I did pick Max to win this. As the fight week went on, I started to lean more to the side of Oliveira, but I didn't officially flip my pick. I ended up standing on my pick of Max Holloway, and yeah, Oliveira gets it done. Oliveira gets it done. Now, what's next for him? Dana said he wasn't too happy with Armin at the moment. Am I surprised about that? No. You never know. It's hard to want to say that you're going to give Oliveira a title shot, considering he just got knocked out by Topuria last year. So it's hard. Well, that's assuming that Topuria wins the fight against Justin Gaethje at the White House. You never know. Maybe Justin Gaethje picks it up and we get to see Oliveira versus Gaethje 2 for the belt. But I honestly don't see that happening. I don't know what's next. That was a dominant performance, but lackluster as far as entertainment goes. And I'm just most disappointed about the excitement that I had for this fight and what I expected from it. It just didn't deliver that. I feel like we all expected a banger here. We all expected a bit more action here. It looked like at one point Oliveira was going to get him out of there quite early, but it was mostly just a smudge fest. Out physicality, out strength, fucking out wrestling Max Holloway. I don't know what the fuck I was just trying to say there. Yeah, it was bigger and stronger and more physical. And you could just see it. You could see it the whole time. After those first 2 rounds, I was like, oh man, this is going to be tough. And it was. And the whole card for that was a pretty tough watch. Now, we got a couple of exciting finishes on the main card. But apart from that, man, this was a bit of a rough card. In the co-main event, I went with Reinier. Caio Borralho gets it done by decision in what was a bit of a weird fight. Now, I'm going to have to watch this one back. The first round, Caio came out guns blazing, landing massive shots. I think he round one quite clearly. Sorry about that. Round one quite clearly. Reinier, he just looks so fucking awkward on the feet. He's constantly walking on Legos, man. It's a weird one, but he does seem to get his strikes out there. He does make it work for himself, and I feel like in the second round, Caio, he did start to slow down a whole lot. He didn't have much output in that second round. If you want to see the official strike numbers here, wow, it's very close. But I thought Reinier won the second round. It was very close. And then going into the third, it was a weird one. Caio, he had a bit of control time there on top position. And then I think he did the more damaging shots. But as you can see here, Reinier actually outlanded him quite a lot in the third round. So I don't know. I'm going to have to watch this one back. Watching it live, I did think Caio Borralho won this quite clearly. I just... Reinier just... It's weird body language. It's a weird body language. And when the judges see that kind of body language when you're getting hit, not moving your head, I mean, it's just a recipe for a disaster. And he lost this fight. It wasn't the worst fight to watch, but it wasn't the craziest fight either. It was a bit of a weird one. But look, we've had worse fights. We've had worse fights than that. I went fucking, oh man, I'm just so disappointed in the way I went with these picks this fight night. This fucking UFC card. I'm losing the plot here, boys. As you can see. Fucking hell. Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. I got this one right. I expected a smudge fest from Raul Rosas Jr. and that's exactly what we got across 3 rounds. He was able to get the takedowns and just beat Font to the position all round. Font had a couple of moments on the feet here and there, but nothing, not really, you know, not really. A couple of times where Raul was on the back foot, but Raul was able to get to those takedowns, get him down to the ground, and smudge him out across 3 rounds for a dominant-ish win. Not exciting. Very shit to watch. I'll be keen to see them match him up with someone that's like real good, you know. I really want to see a good test for Raul Rosas Jr. because I really think he's a good chance at getting checked again. Drew Dober. Delivered for the boys. Come on. He gets it done. Drew Dober. I got this one right. Drew Dober, round 2 knockout. Pretty much, I called that. I did call that one. I was happy to get the method around on this. Drew Dober finds the knockout in the second round. It was a pretty fun fight to watch. Not a crazy amount of output, but, you know, it was fun. It was a fun little scrap. And Drew Dober finds that shot. I think it was like a big looping straight or something like that. Big left hand right to the chin. I believe it was his left hand. Massive overhang type shot. Puts him down, puts him out cold. And the rest is history. Give me Jalen Turner. Give me Jalen Turner next. Look, good win here by Drew Dober. Michael Johnson slimed out once again. It looked like he was complaining about the stoppage for a second there. I'm not sure if he was. But he was done. He was out. There's no doubt about it. But he had his moments. He did have his moments in the fight. It looked like he had Drew Dober slightly cracked at some points. So yeah, good little scrap. Drew Dober gets it done by round 2 knockout. And on the first fight of the main card, I went with Bruno Ferreira here. I was wrong. I was happy to be wrong with this one though. Gregory Rodrigues gets the knockout with 1 punch. Walk-off KO. Puts him down, stands over him, and that's it. That is it. 1:47 into the first round. Like I said, I was happy to be wrong here. I'm a big fan of Gregory Rodrigues. And I was kind of confident that he was going to get knocked out here. I was. So I was glad to be wrong on that one. Man, he's a problem. When he's patient, he is a fucking problem. And he was patient here. He held back, didn't have much output. He did the same thing in the Jack Hermansson fight. Not much output to start with. That's where it's at. That's where it's at for Gregory Rodrigues. If he just holds back, he knows he can eat the shots and find that fucking shot. Wait for it. Wait for the right moment. He's gonna be a big problem for people moving up the division, moving up the ranks. So I'm gonna be keen to see who he gets next. I hope for the life of me that Izzy doesn't lose to Joe Pyfer and then we get a Gregory Rodrigues versus Israel Adesanya mashup. I'll hate that. I'm a big Izzy fan, so I'll be very worried if that happens. I'll be sad enough if he loses to Piper, let alone following up with a matchup with Rodrigues. I mean, shit. Got the pick wrong on that one. Is what it is. This was one of the weirdest fights I've ever seen. 3, 4 nut shots. Cody Garbrandt wins this fight. I went with Cody Garbrandt to win this fight. I was quite confident in it. I said he would piece this dude up. Cody Garbrandt wins this fight by decision. Thanks to the fouls. Thanks to the fouls and the points loss in the third round, I believe it was. Yeah, it was the third round. Zhao Long loses 2 points. 2 points in a row to groin shot fouls. He just kept whacking him in the groin. There was a really bad one there where he kind of got him with the toes right up in there. That was fucking horrible. You could feel that one through the screen, you know? You could feel that one through the screen. And after that, it was a moment there where I'm thinking, Cody's he's angry. He looked fucking angry. He looked fired up. And I'm thinking, shit, it's about to go down. And Cody Garbrandt just fucking runs at him and jumps and just throws his whole body at him. And they just have a collision. And then Cody just screams in his face. And then he just goes straight to back to being on the fucking back foot. Weird fight. And every time Zhao Long got hit in this fight by Cody Garbrandt, Garbrandt dropped him at one point, or slightly dropped him in the first round with a big elbow coming out of the clinch. That was probably his only moment in the first round. Other than that, Zhao Long was really outworking him just all round in the striking. Across 3 rounds. Like, quite easily, I feel like. It wasn't looking good for Cody going into the third round there. And I feel like he lost every round, almost. Like, you could maybe score that first round with the slight knockdown, but it wasn't scored as a knockdown. So, and it wasn't a proper knockdown. He kind of just dropped to one knee. Weird fight, but Zhao Long loses this fight due to fouls, due to point losses. It's going to be interesting to see how they keep this up moving forward, because Herb Dean doesn't seem to be fucking around no more. If I see someone getting poked in the eye and Herb Dean's reffing, I expect to see a point taken right away, especially if it's a bad one. I mean, shit. I was happy to get the pick right on this one. A little bit of a fluke. And I'm happy because I was very confident on Cody Garbrandt. I know the fight didn't go down with him really winning it, but he won. He got the result that we needed, all right? Donte Johnson versus Cody Brundage. Donte Johnson is definitely going to get fraud checked, possibly in his next fight. The second he gets some level of competition, like some decent level of competition. What's his middleweight? Donte Johnson's going to lose to someone. I'm trying to think of a name. Give him Bruno Ferreira. I mean, it's probably too soon to be talking. Bruno Ferreira was in the rankings, and now he's probably just going to be just outside the rankings. Probably too soon to be talking that far up. Who else is in the middleweight division right now that I can't think of? I don't know, but he's going to get... I could see Roman Kopylov fraud checking him, you know? Something like that. This wasn't a great performance by Donte Johnson. Now, Cody Brundage, just being a victim out there. This is prime fucking Cody Brundage being a victim, ducking away from shots, landed a couple shots of his own, swinging a couple of big overhands, landing some of his own. Moments there, it looked like, oh, fuck, maybe he cracked him there, but Donte Johnson was on the pressure the whole time. I feel like he was chasing the choke a bit too much in the first and second round. He had Cody Garbrandt in a front headlock position for quite some time there, where I feel like if he was going for damage and ground and pound, I feel like he could have got Cody Brundage out of there. Like, that's a lot of the time, that's how people get Cody Brundage out of there. He's hard to put out cold with one shot. But oftentimes, you see him get backed up to the fence, get cracked, drops to the ground, tries to wrestle a bit, fails, you sprawl, you're in the headlock, and then people start to unload on him. And then that's where they find the finish. But Donte Johnson, he was really looking for that choke, and he couldn't get it. And then he's giving a little bit of ground and pound, but, not all that much. Not all that much. And, yeah, not an impressive performance here. We got the pick right. We didn't get the method. I thought he would get the knockout inside of 2 rounds, but he wins by decision in a very lackluster performance. And it was a split decision. That was wrong. That was, fuck, I forgot about that, actually. Split decision, bruh. That's crazy. Because he clearly won this fight. There's no way in the world that Cody Brundage won this fight. So, I don't know what the fuck that judge was doing. Ricky Turcios versus Alberto Montes. I had Alberto Montes to win this fight by submission in the second round. I said he'd get an anaconda or a Das. His best submission is the anaconda choke. That's what he does. Gets a submission in the second round with the anaconda choke. And he looked good. He looked good here. He looked a lot better than he did on the Contender Series. So I feel like maybe time off been good for him. Maybe he was dealing with some injuries and he needed some time to get some good, proper recovery in. And he looked good in the striking as well. Put on a good performance here. Was peppering Ricky Turcios in the first round. It was looking at like maybe he could work his way to a knockout here. But eventually, in the second round, gets it to the ground. And he finds that choke. Finds that anaconda choke. He had that shit so tight. And as he rolled over and got that pressure on the neck, Turcios went out quick, man. So, good win here against someone who can give people problems. Now, Turcios isn't, he's not going to come out here and win a whole bunch of fights. This wasn't the upset of the century, obviously. But Turcios, he can give people some problems, and he's a decent test for someone coming in for their first fight in the UFC. And he made quick work of him, made easy work of him, and looked impressive doing it. So I'm keen to see where he goes next, who they give him next. Right now, I can't really think of anyone outside of the rankings in featherweight. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that one. Cody Durden versus Nyamjargal Tumendemberel. I went with Tumendemberel here. I said he would get the submission. He wins by decision. He was threatening submission in the first round. For the most part here, and again, another ordinary fight. He did a lot of out scrambling. This was quite impressive though for Tumendemberel. He just out scrambled Cody Durden across the park, basically. You can see here that the total strikes are slightly in favor of Durden. But for the most part, this was a grappling match. Now, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting Durden to have more success in the wrestling here. He's a good wrestler. So this was quite an impressive performance by Nyamjargal, despite it not being so exciting. I feel like, again, Durden can give a lot of people problems, especially someone who's coming up who maybe shouldn't be in the UFC. He's gonna show you that. And Nyamjargal proved tonight that maybe Durden's too old, or maybe he's good enough to be in the UFC. But I feel like he did good, and the scrambles they did impress me here tonight. But again, very lackluster fight. The story of this card was not the BMF card of the year, Not the BMF card of the year. Start the card off, I did absolutely fucking horrendous. I thought this was going to be the worst day of my life. Jesus Aguilar just couldn't do anything to Mudaerji. Mudaerji was really good. He would have finished this fight. Having that much height and reach, insane. I didn't think it was going to be that different. Seeing it in the cage was crazy different. So, man, Tough loss here for Jesus Aguilar. Tumendemberel basically dominates him across 3 rounds in the striking for the most part. Jesus couldn't get anything done, or Jesus, whatever it is, couldn't get anything done. Couldn't get the takedowns and got reversed at times when trying to get takedowns, and just got pieced up on the feet. Cracked late in the third. Tumendemberel could have finished this fight. I think this was a good chance for him to find a finish with a bit more output. You know, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what he was scared of, because Jesus, he didn't have much in store for him. He wasn't offering out that much. So, again, lackluster performance here. For someone who really could have taken advantage of this moment. I was shocked with this. Tourette's dude, fucking, wow, gets it done. The second I start doubting him, he gets it done. Actually, I think I picked against him in the last fight with it around Sadi Boldia. But I was expecting a lot more from Rafael Tobias here. I was expecting a lot more grappling too. At the start, he really looked like he wanted to strike with him. And from the jump, you could tell that wasn't going to be good. He really needed to mix it up. He was getting countered bad throughout this whole fight. Diao Negazai, he was using that front kick to the body really well to maintain that distance and just outstrike him across 3 rounds quite easily. In the second round, Tobias had a moment where he cracked him there, got him to the ground. Looked like maybe he was going to get a submission at one point, but he couldn't quite get it done. I mean, shit. Gets reversed as well. Gets reversed at the end of the round. Tough night for people coming in on debut off the Contender Series. Tough night for him. Rafael Tobias, I went with him to win by submission. He loses a decision in the 3rd round, or loses a 3-round decision to someone who hasn't showed much promise coming into the UFC, and even looked a little bit ordinary at times in this fight, despite having a good performance. I don't know if either of these guys are really going to make it very far in the UFC. Interesting to see what kind of matchups they get next. They're probably going to give them both like cans, you know. It's just what they do these days. The first fight of the night, Luke Fernandez, I had to win by knockout. Now, I was a little bit worried with this pick. It was a low confidence pick. Rodolfo Bellato. Low confidence pick for a reason. Rodolfo Bellato gets it done. Now, Luke Fernandez looked good early on, and he had Bellato busted up. He had a bloody nose. But Bellato gets it done by knockout in the first round. I think it was a hook, a counter hook, that he landed right on the chin that just slumped Luke Fernandez. After getting pieced up a bit, he was getting hit quite a bit. Like I said in the prediction video, he takes a lot of damage, but he is tough. And Luke Fernandez, he didn't get that KO shot early on and ended up getting checked with a fucking hook and put down on his ass. Bellato follows up with good ground and pound. Gets the win by TKO in the first round. Look, good win. Good win for Rodolfo Bellato. And he bounces back. So he gave a tough fight to Sterling. I'm starting to think that, man, I've been so back and forth on Rodolfo Bellato, man. When he fought Jimmy Crute, I'm thinking, oh, he's going to fuck Jimmy Crute up. I wasn't that high on Jimmy Crute at the time. I always, that was when he was coming back after his retirement. And, I mean, shit, man. Shit. It's a tough one. It's a tough one when you go back and forth on these fighters. Anyway, that was the story of the card. Again, a little bit of a lackluster card. A couple of good finishes here. Some weird fights in the mix. Most of this was just like most of the way through, all right, co-main event, not what we expected in the main event. Not what we expected, but here's what it is. Here's what it is, boys. We found out Saturday night who the BMF is. Anyways, now to get into the good stuff. What we've all been fucking waiting for. The hype. Does it live up to the hype? The UFC White House card Now, there was a fight that fell through. Yesterday, I believe Dana said on a stream, they did have another fight here. He did confirm in the press conference that it was not John Jones. It's the main event we expected. Look, this is a sick card. We only get 6 fights total. No prelims, I'm guessing. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for Pereira. This is big for Pereira. Now we already knew that Pereira was going to be moving up to heavyweight once we saw the announcement for the Yuri and Ulberg fight. Topuria versus Gaethje. I think we all knew that one was going to be coming. American champ. Look, they're going to do it. And with the performance that Gaethje put on against Paddy Pimblett, you never know. You never know. It was a good performance. Maybe more messy than anything. Definitely more messy than technical performance. And that's where, a Topuria matchup's going to probably look a little bit different. I feel like most people are going to be on the same page when it comes to predicting how this main event goes down. Now, it's going to be tough to see an American get knocked out cold on the White House lawn. But maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe Trump makes a deal with Topuria and says, can you just submit him? Just submit him so we don't have to see him colded, palms up. Maybe. Maybe. But I think there's going to be a lot of us going with Topuria here and to win by knockout. But hey, I could see him mixing in the grappling in this fight. Absolutely. Gaethje has shown holes in the grappling before. Yes, he's got good wrestling. But I could see it. Topuria has a good Greco-Roman wrestling background. Good jiu-jitsu. Subbed out Bryce Mitchell. So he's got it there. Look, that could be the way I start leaning for the prediction on that fight. Either way, I am fucking pumped for this main event. Topuria, he's getting to that star status. Probably not going to see a whole lot of fights out of him over the next couple of years. I feel like we've only got a few more fights out of him. He's one of those fighters, like a mythical fighter. And then we got Alex Pereira stepping up to face Cyril Gane, getting another fucking title shot. Again! The fuck? Rewarded for fucking fouls, bro. Like, what the actual fuck? I'd like to know what fight fell out here. I really would. Maybe it was Nunes Harrison. Maybe it was that. But I'd like to know what fight fell out. I think Dana was saying, it sounded like when Dana was talking about that Pereira Gane was the replacement that they came to agreement with overnight. Cyril Gane, I'm happy for Alex Pereira here. I think this is a very winnable fight for Alex Pereira. I will pick Alex Pereira to win this fight and make history and become, I know it's only interim, but become a 3-time or 3 weight class world champion consecutively. Make absolute history in the sport. Alex Pereira has his opportunity to do that. I'm going to pick him to win that fight by knockout. I think he's going to look great at heavyweight. He's obviously, look, it'll be a fun fight, I think. We're going to have 2 strikers here. Maybe Gane mixes in the fucking grappling and gives us a 25-minute grappling fuckfest. I hope not. I fucking hope not. I'll be cheering when Pereira knocks this dude the fuck out and sends him back to fucking Disney. And I think we're going to be able to see O'Malley back in the knockout column. O'Malley versus Sahabi. Now, this is a little bit of a weird fight. Now, it's good to see that they're probably going to go for the Marab rematch for Jan. Obviously, now that we see O'Malley booked here with Sahabi. I feel like this is a missed opportunity for O'Malley versus Sandhagen. I feel like this could have been a great fight card to have that fight on. Two Americans going at it. Maybe that's not what they wanted. Now they're getting America versus Canada. I'm excited for this fight for O'Malley. I feel like we can see a prime O'Malley performance here and see O'Malley pick up a good knockout, you know? I'll be keen to see this one. Zahabi's good though. Zahabi's crafty, so you never know. You never know. But I will sub early leans. I'm siding with O'Malley on that one. I feel like he could find a knockout in this fight. We've seen Zahabi cracked in a couple of his fights. If O'Malley can get you there to be that cracked, I feel like he's going to be able to find a finish. Even if you get that cracked and don't just get put out fucking cold. Sean O'Malley on the White House card. I'm glad to see that. Getting the I feel like he deserved it, you know. I feel like he deserved it. American fighter, bantamweight champ at one point, former. Yeah, look, Sean O'Malley. I'm a big fan of Sean O'Malley, so I'm glad to see him on this card. And that brings us to Chandler gets his McGregor fight stylistically. Mauricio Rufy versus Michael Chandler. The slime out fest begins. Michael Chandler's going palms up on the White House lawn. That's happening. That's fucking happening. Well, you never know. You never know. BSD was able to give Rufy problems with the pressure. Maybe Chandler can put something on him, but I feel like Rufy's going to be way ahead of him here in the striking, especially. We don't see Chandler mixing the wrestling, so it's hard to say. Chandler can come in and get some takedowns and maybe go for a sub, maybe go for some control time and ground and pound. I don't see that happening. Chandler hasn't shown us that yet. He hasn't shown. It's going to be a massive card. So many eyes on this card. Chandler's going to want to put on a fun fight. We all know that. We all know he's not going to be able to help himself. If that's the game plan going in, to go in and find a takedown, he's not going to be able to help himself. He's going to fucking want to strike, and he's going to get put out cold. It's as simple as that. That's a pretty good matchup. That is a pretty good matchup. I am looking forward to that one. Bo Nickel gets his fucking way. He's on the White House card. Trump loves him. I think we all knew this. Against Kyle Dorcas. Kyle Dorcas. I'm sure I seen fucking Kyle Dorcas book to fight someone else just recently. What the fuck? Kyle Dorcas. Weird fight. Weird fight. Right now, I'm gonna probably pretty comfortably say that Bo Nickel gets this fight done. Kyle Dorcas was able to put on 2 good wins coming back into the UFC. So you never know. You never know, but I feel like we're going to see some consistent, immense improvement from Bo Nickel. Coming off that head kick, out cold knockout against Rodolfo Vieira, which was a very impressive knockout. I feel like we can see another finish here for Bo Nickel. He's going to have the advantage in the wrestling now. Dorcas, his main game is the submissions. I can see him getting out-wrestled here badly, controlled, and probably getting knocked out. He's been chinned a few times. I could see it happening again here. Bo Nickel doesn't mind a strike. He doesn't mind it. So I could see this could be a fight card full of finishes. Now that I'm sitting here going through these slowly, this could be a fight card full of finishes. Now, only 6 fights, yeah. This could be a lot of finishing potential on this card, both ways. I probably don't see Zahabi getting a finish. We don't see Chandler getting a finish, but I do see him getting finished. At both of them. Kyle Dorcas, I could see him getting a finish, but I'd more likely see him getting finished. And Diego Lopez is matched up against Steve Garcia. This is a big step up for Steve Garcia, and this is a really good fucking match. in my opinion. I really like this match. Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. Now, Diego Lopes stepping in. Not that long ago did he just fight in Sydney. Stepping in to fight an up-and-coming contender in the weight class who is on an absolute tear, knocking everyone the fuck out. This is going to be a sick fight. I expect a stand-up fight here. I could see Lopes mix in the grappling, possibly go for some submissions. This is going to be an interesting one. I don't know which way I'll lean for this one just yet. Because Steve Garcia has been on a fucking tear. Coming off that dominant win over David Onama. Doing a bedtime there. Man, this is a good fight. And this is a good 6-fight card. You have to say it. I am going to be very hyped for this when it comes. It is going to be on a Monday here in Australia. So that's going to be interesting. Might have to have a fucking sickie, boys. Gonna have to have a sickie. Call up the boss. Tell him what's happening. Sorry, boss. Can't come in today. The White House guard's on. More important stuff to fucking talk about, alright? Can't do it, alright? See you tomorrow, G. Look. This is a good card. I am looking forward to it. Hopefully it's going to be better than what the fuck we had to watch today. Look, impressive performance by Oliveira. But like I said, man, baddest motherfucker. It didn't represent that name, that belt, that feeling the way it should. Now, I'm not saying Oliveira should go out there and fucking risk just standing up with Max Holloway, but he had success on the feet. He could have put Holloway out, potentially. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you got to this point of the video, drop a like and a sub if you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video, which will probably be my prediction video. I started a stream, a fight companion stream at the start of the card today. I only got 2 fights in. I had to go and be a dad. Just, gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But next week, I'm hoping that I can get a fight companion stream going for the full card. And yeah, get that stuff going. That's something I really want to start working on. Start doing that a bit more. It's a very new concept for me. So I have a bit of learning to do. But I'm pretty keen on doing that. I think it could be some fun. And yeah, I'll let you know anyway. Thanks so much for watching again. Goodbye.